All right, here's the first story we have from the Daily Mail. I don't know, Phil, do you want to just read the headline?
No! We think you don't have any idea how old you are, old man. You think I don't know how fucking old I am? Joe Biden, 80, says.
Vents to allies about how he's fed up with fixation on his age as Democrats speculate if he will run for president in 2024. This one actually is really funny. Biden turned 80 in November. He'd be 82 years old if he wins and takes office in 2025. Jeez. He is already the oldest man ever elected president. I'm pretty sure if Trump wins, he would also be the oldest president ever elected.
Yep.
So I guess this is just where we're at. What is this? Look, I guess maybe we just want to rag on Joe Biden a little bit. But the question I have is, why is it that old people are clinging to power like this, and where are the younger people to cling it back and actually start leading? I guess you're running, Riley. You're younger.
Yeah, look,
younger than Biden, but
yeah, most people alive are. Yeah.
Truth.
For me, look, I won this office as state treasurer from an older guy. He had been in office for 24 years. Wow. Was elected in 1996. Look, that's what we ran on. I ran on modernizing the office, changing the office, bringing it into this century, which he was like, I did modernize the office in 1996. We got the internet.
Did he really say that?
Yes.
Bless his heart.
Yes.
That's all you can say is that poor man.
But, to your point, them clinging to power, I'm the first Republican elected in West Virginia as state treasurer in 92 years.
No.
And this is West Virginia. And it's, people just clinging on to power.
First elected?
First Republican elected in 92 years. First Republican elected in 92 years.
Wow.
And it does take this generation stepping up and taking some risks. That was a risk for me. I'm taking the risk here to run for Congress in 24. And it just takes this generation to just step up and do something about it. Because if you don't keep taking shots at kind of the establishment class, they will continue to persist.
We do have Ocasio-Cortez. She's young.
Yes.
She's millennial.
Yes.
Do you count as a millennial or are you a Gen X? Because I'm Gen X.
I think I'm right on the border.
Yeah.
Because I'm
42, you said?
Yeah. So 1980, and depending what the internet says, sometimes I'm Gen X, sometimes I'm millennial.
I think they call it Zennial.
Yeah.
Ian's the same age.
I just wonder if people that are Gen X, generally we've kind of been fairly the aloof and detached generation. Like, people didn't hear a whole lot about Gen X. Like, millennials kind of stormed onto the scene before people started paying attention to Gen X. It was like everyone was complaining about the boomers. We were kind of just quietly, existing. And then the millennials came and were just like, pay attention to me! And Gen X is kind of like, and I wonder if that kind of attitude of being aloof has kept Gen X away from trying to be in government. This is kind of, I guess, spitballing here, I think.
Gen X is like the forgotten generation.
Kind of.
Because everyone's mad at boomers and disgusted by millennials. And Gen X is just like,
rightly,
we're here too, guys.
Correct.
We exist.
I just go to work every day,
Well, that's the thing. Like, whenever I bring up boomer stuff, I'll say, like, the boomers did this good, did this bad, and then millennials are doing this. I get a bunch of comments where they're like, Tim, I'm Gen X, we exist. And I'm like, I know. It's just there's not really much to say because you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you got some good music, you're running some companies, you're not doing horrible things boomers are doing. You didn't make Star Trek The Next Generation, but you maybe worked on it with the boomers. But you're also not a bunch of woke psychopaths for the most part. So I'm chill with Gen X. I think they're cool people.
For the most part, Gen X has been fairly benign and inoffensive, aside from the fact
stop generalizing and collectivizing. I just want to bring it back to this original story here because Biden still thinks he's in charge here. Obviously, clearly, there's bigger powers above him that do call the shots here, but we have to consider that with the way that the Democratic Party is shaping up, and even sources coming out through the corporate media saying that he's going to announce his bid for the presidency after this holiday season, there's a big chance that he actually might run and he might win, especially with the way that the Democrats have been fortifying elections. I think it's very clear more than ever that we could have a second Biden administration, especially with the advancements of technology, especially with how useful he has been to the current ruling class that has been using him in order to push on the most unpopular policies ever on humanity, especially with the way that they have played out, destroying domestic energy. And I could go on and on and on, but it's a deliberate action. I think he's there for a reason, and I think he might be there for the next 6 years.
Luke, you're exciting the doomers.
Hey, I'm being real here.
Hold on. I just gotta. We remember the photo where Biden had the IV track marks or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're cranking him full of whatever they.
He's
can
on
to keep him
stem
going.
cells, young people, baby blood, probably. They do it in Mexico. Don't joke here. This is not crazy stuff. They literally do this stuff in some places around the world. Some people might say adrenochrome. Some people might say this. Hey, okay, that's another level.
Antifreeze,
But the
Prestone.
But the stem cells and the young people blood is not out of the realm of possibility here.
We just got to slow down a little bit. You said baby blood and adrenochrome. Hold on.
I said some people might say adrenochrome. I said baby blood.
It's okay, but it's probably what we have heard is these stories where powerful elites hire like 19-year-old bodybuilders to do blood transfusions every other week. Blood boys, is that what they're called?
I mean, that's
so
the joking term on
weird.
Silicon Valley, but
Right. Yeah. So I don't know what they're cranking Biden full of, but we saw the IV marks. He's an old guy. Look, at the very least, he's getting like a vitamin drip. They probably come
vitamin drip.
Yeah, once a week, they hook up the IV and they give him, vitamin C, vitamin B, all that stuff.
Listen, they bring in Abrina Brovimich, right? They close in the room. They start getting all the liquids from all the human bodily orifices, and then they start summoning the entities, and then this probably literally happens, and they probably are like, keep him in power. He's too good for us. And the demons are like, okay, yes, we'll do this.
Translated.
And that's probably what's happening.
Translated into English, what really happens, he flies back to Delaware a lot. He probably is going there so they can bring in doctors that they don't track. The doctor then brings a vitamin drip IV bag, maybe NAD. If you watch Joe Rogan, you know exactly what's going on. And they're probably stem cells, definitely. Stem cells is actually like I don't want to say common.
I want to submit one quick idea before I let you go on. I don't think you're right, because I believe all that stuff that you're talking about works and Joe Biden doesn't.
Fair point.
But it's a certain age. At a certain age, though, I mean, there's only so much you could do to fix the system,
Look,
right?
I mean,
you could keep them up and running. But with the way that things are going and the way that truly things are run in our political system, why wouldn't he have a body double? Why wouldn't the body double be in there when he's so convenient for the ruling class? I mean, I think that's worth speculating on. I don't have any proof. I don't have any evidence of this. But if the president of Venezuela has a body double, why wouldn't the U.S. president have a body double?
No, I definitely agree with that. There was like that viral photo of Hillary Clinton that everyone said wasn't really Hillary Clinton. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to get in it. But she did not look like Hillary Clinton. If you're a powerful military involved or state official, yeah, I really doubt the U.S. would not give you a body double.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un has a couple of them, right? And the United States doesn't have of them? Come on.
I want all that to be true. I don't know that I believe it, but it's a much cooler story than like not having body doubles. I don't know that I have seen any kind of evidence that would lead me to believe that. But I mean, I also, there's a lot of things that the government has done that I would not have believed.
Riley's got like 2 or 3 body doubles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, West Virginia State Treasurer.
I need one to come in and do a 360 flip for me.
That's right.
But the thing is, though, for the left, he is the best candidate. He's the greatest candidate they could have because he believes in essentially whatever they tell him to believe in.
Yeah, he's an empty vessel.
And all he's ever wanted in his entire life was to be president. He's ran several times. He's there. This is the retirement gig. And talking about millennials, well, the White House is chock full of them. And they are running the show. Every left-wing thing that you can think of has been pushed forward by this administration. I mean, it makes almost like the Obama administration look like a moderate administration compared to what's happening right now in the Biden administration.
We had that viral video of the biggest caravan ever to cross the southern border. And it's kind of crazy to me that you can be politely and calmly saying something like, hey, it's really bad that there's a bunch of kids living under our bridge and dying in the desert and being trafficked and young girls being raped and coyotes in black market. And just nothing happens.
We have
Biden doesn't
nothing.
care.
There are
So why
more
wouldn't-
important things going on. He literally said that.
Yes.
Are you going to go to the border? No, because there's more important things going on.
I just want to finish my point. So why wouldn't they keep this kind of show running when it's so beneficial to them? And second, I met someone that looks exactly like me, and I was like, I need your number. Hold on, I might need you in the future. And if I'm thinking this way, what is the U.S. federal government thinking about? I mean, it's you look at Face Off, you look at the advancements in plastic surgery, artificial intelligence,
Face Off, the
anything.
movie?
Yes, you look at
Nicolas Cage and John Travolta switched
anything.
faces.
I'm saying anything is possible here.
I mean,
you bring in Obama, you do an operation. I mean,
you know what I like?
seriously?
I want to say that it's silly, but if you go and you read history about the things that the CIA has actually tried and attempted, they'll try anything. They
FDR
will
was
make
incapacitated.
they'll make
FDR was not able to rule. His wife was ruling with the special interests, with the people behind him. They were making all the decisions. He couldn't even make any
Yeah, but
decisions.
that's
himself.
not. That's
and
not
Reagan.
talking.
Yeah.
Reagan's brain was gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this happened before. Why wouldn't it happen now? Why wouldn't it happen during a second administration? It's like that vacation movie with Bernie. What's his name?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Bernie's.
Yeah, it's like Weekend at Bernie's 2. They made a second version. So there's a big
Weekend at
likelihood
Biden's.
that there's going to be another version of this.
I mean, do you think there's any point where he's brought some issue or policy and he says no? I mean, by his staff?
Yes, but he probably tries to say no and goes, "Rah," and then they're just like, it's good. They take his hand with the rubber stamp and he's like, "Roll," and then they stamp yes, and he's like, "Roll." And he can't do anything about it.
I don't think he has any care about any of the policies that are being presented at all.
They put him in a fake office. Remember when he was he was in a sound stage and they had screens behind him and they're like, "That's right, you're the president," and he's like,
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think that there's not a whole lot of argument that decisions are being made without Biden's input. There's most people think that the chief of staff and other people in the administration are actually making the day-to-day calls, and then the overall broad policy decisions are not being made by Joe Biden because the overall broad policy decisions are kind of baked into the philosophy that the left has now. It's like you kind of can predict what the policy positions they're going to be looking for, the things that the activists are asking for. The people in positions of power are doing their best to deliver to the activists.
I just got to make sure people know. Like whenever I say something crazy, I got to pull up a source because I remember we had one time that Luke mentioned Bill Gates was creating computer chips to implant in people to stop them from getting pregnant. And I was like, oh, come on, Luke. And then we Googled it and it was true. So we have this from the New York Post. Biden mocked for Truman Show presidency over fake White House set. That's right. They put Biden in a set with TV screens as fake windows and they put different things on the back. That's what they're doing to this man. I just want to make sure everybody knows that actually happened.
That we know of.
They do just, they're going to keep rolling them out. And if you go flash back to Biden 20 years ago, Biden 30 years ago, whatever it is.
Different guy.
Different guy. Policies were very, very different. Now he's abortion with no limits whatsoever. But in a not too distant past, that's not where he was.
It is.
They have a fake White House set. Why wouldn't they have a fake White House president? Right? Yeah. I'm serious. I'm surprised they didn't work with Disney and started one of the rides
but the thing
where it's like, one of the rides in Disney where you just kind of sit there and then the theater kind of moves. Like, here's now the president of the United States. And you get the AI generated hologram puppet coming out there. That's literally something that could be conceivable and could be happening right now, especially because when you look at military technology, it is usually 30 years ahead of what the United States and the general public usually knows about.
But the point that the thing that we're kind of saying is it doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden has a body double or not, because Joe Biden isn't making the calls anyways.
Yeah.
So if it's Joe Biden or a body double of Joe Biden, it doesn't matter because we've already kind of agreed that the chief of staff at the White House is making the calls and the actual direction the left is going that way without Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's just along for the ride.
How many times has he said something publicly and then they come out and correct it?
Exactly.
I mean, multiple times.
That's why I don't think a lot. We've argued this before. People are like, he's clearly not making the call. Someone's doing it for him, and I'm like, no. I think he is, but they're just shrugging and then doing random things. Mm-hmm. So when he goes out on TV and says a thing, They have to come out and correct him. Now think about what happens behind closed doors. He's telling them what to do, and then they're doing whatever they want. So I don't think they're going to Biden and saying, Biden, you're going to tell people to do this. And he goes, okay. I think they go in and Biden goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, that, that. And they're like, you got it. And they walk out and say, what are you guys going to do? I'm going to do something else.
Yeah, and I think they do have to, and they've been trying to do this. They're trying to manage him better. I mean, do you remember when he came out and said, red line with Taiwan, China invades Taiwan, we're showing up, and they're like, oh, hey, time out. Here's actually what he meant.
Yeah.
Or when he said, they're going to get mad at me if I read this or ask questions or whatever. It's like, who's they?
Yeah.
You're the president.
just like you said, like this is all evidence, just, that he isn't the guy in charge.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.